Yeah. Hey, Alan Ewald, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers, baby. Welcome back, baby. Welcome back, baby. What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome to the stream. Already in Nerd Vengers Tower, ready to break down some hot deep. Episode 9. What a wild episode it was, man. Very crazy. Very crazy. Couple of different things that I kind of want to know from you guys right from the rip. So let me just ask this. We're not going to go to the polls yet because I want to leave the polls up currently because we don't have enough likes. Holy shit! We need more likes. What are you guys doing? Wake up! Meeting ran over, but I can always count on JST. There you go, man. Screw your like button! Hey, congratulations on being married, Mas, by the way. Screw your like button! She says. Grow Bad Miracle Leonard. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Make your way around the tower. Okay, here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know right away. What was more shocking? Rhaenys and the dragon popping up at the end? Or the feet scene? What was it? Dragon or feet? What was more shocking? What was more shocking to you? Feet scene, dragon, feet, the feet, dragon, them toes, feet, the feet for sure. Yeah, definitely. Look at that. Isn't that wild? Dude, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Oh, they're doing that. And also, I want to know, because I'm absolutely positive that a lot of you guys already watched like a lot of videos and like saw people online and everything like that. How many Tarantino jokes have you seen so far in the coverage of this episode? How many Tarantino jokes have you seen? Is it like mandatory that every single person that is going to talk about this has to make a Tarantino joke? It's like every single person had the same idea and thought they were so clever making the Tarantino joke. And I'll admit, the first time I heard it, it made me laugh. And then I was like, wait, what? Another one? And I was like, oh, you're doing that too? And I was just like, damn, okay. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of Tarantino jokes. Yeah, he likes feet, if you didn't know. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, that shit was crazy, man. I was like, okay, Sir Loris. And then like Allison is just like bizarre, bro. Bizarre. There was another moment in the episode that I thought was really, really bizarre, is when Sir Kristen Cole killed that old dude by smashing his head against it. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Before we get into the actual breakdown of the video, there's a couple of different things that I want to say, okay? First off, and I'm going to repeat this later on in the stream when we get more people in here, because I want to kind of just make sure everybody is aware. Next week, we are moving these streams to noon. To noon Eastern Standard Time. That's an hour and a half later in the day. And I don't know if it's going to be permanent. I don't know if we'll stick there permanently. We're going to try it out all next week and see how it goes and see how people respond, because I've been looking at like just kind of analytics and some data and stuff, and it really does seem like a lot of people are not up at this time, and a lot of people are not able to sit down and enjoy the stream or hang out or whatever. I know it's not going to be perfect for everybody, but yeah, so we'll be doing these at noon each day. So I wanted to kind of put that out there, make sure everybody knows. What else? I feel like there was something else that's going on, but I can't remember. I guess Black Adam comes out this week, yeah. Black Adam comes out this week. I'll definitely go check it out. I'll give you my thoughts on it. I'll probably do a video on it. And then probably do a little bit of talking about it on stream. I don't know if it'll warrant its own stream or whatnot. And we're rounding the bet, of course, towards Wakanda Forever. And I'm super excited about that as well. Also, I do want to say, I'm sure many of you guys already know this, especially because it's kind of early on in the stream, Monday, Hot D. You know, so it's probably a lot of the more hardcore people that are in here right now. But we've been making a lot of adjustments to the content on the regular Den of Nerds channel. And I just really appreciate all the support we've been getting on the videos. A lot of our videos are crushing it. And I feel really good about the new direction and the new editing and just kind of the content that we're putting out. So thank you guys very much. It's cool to be on a roll, and I'm going to continue to do all that. Oh, and we should be back for Nerd Theory tonight. I don't know what we'll talk about, right? It would be great if like some Star Wars news popped off, because the only thing with regards to Andor that at least me personally that I would like to talk about is just the incredibly low sort of viewership and what's the word I'm looking for here? Let me just pull up. I'm not trying to talk about this right now, but I just want to kind of briefly bring this up because I talked about this a little bit last week. And a lot of you guys were like, no, that's not true. Everybody's watching this show. And I was like, oh, really? I don't think so. And now we have a little bit more data to kind of back this up. So let me kind of show you what we're looking at here. Don't worry, we're not going to dwell on it. We're not going to get super negative here. But check this out, okay? So this is coming from Brandon Cates, trade reporter. He says, the most disappointing trend I've come across recently is how audience demand for Andor is overwhelmingly lower than The Mandalorian Season 1 or 2, Book of Boba Fett, or Obi-Wan. Look at this bottom line here, dude. That's fucking Andor down there. Doing nothing. But anyways, that's kind of one of the only things that, as far as Star Wars is concerned, that I think is even worth. If there's some other crazy news that comes out, of course, we can talk about that later also. But I assume we'll be back for Nerd Theory. I can't promise that, but I'm pretty sure we'll be back. I'm feeling much better. Theory might have something that comes up. I might last minute just decide I can't fucking do it. I can't fucking handle Star Wars fans. I can't do it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to read their stupid messages. I don't want to do none of that shit. But I'll probably be able to do it. You know what I mean? I'll probably be able to handle it. So it should be fine. So hopefully we'll be back then. Oh, you guys got a little lag? A little lag? Are you lagging it up? I would have to watch episode 6 probably before we started. You know, the lag thing's interesting, okay? Because on my end, everything looks good. It might not, like maybe I'm getting delayed data, and maybe in a little bit here it'll be like, dude, your stream sucks. But I've been having trouble with the Brave browser and YouTube just in general. I watch a lot of videos. I watch a lot of streams. I've actually had to use freaking Chrome lately. So I don't know. Could be something going on like that. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe try a refresh. Maybe try a different browser, man. I don't know. Things have been weird with that. So anyway, let's begin. Let's break down the Hot D. And I always like to start by seeing how you guys feel about the episode. So why don't you give me your score out of 10 for this, the Pan-Ultimate episode of Season 1, Episode 9 of House of the Dragon. What would your score for this episode be? Score! Okay. Pretty high scores. Some mids, some 7s, some 8s, some 10s. Hang on, I'm trying to get this thing pulled up too. Okay, cool. Wait, is this it? What the buttholes? Hang on, what's going on here? So it's not this? Oh, it's this. And this is... Okay, cool. Let's just make sure that this is actually working here. Okay, cool. Okay. We're good there. Yeah, let's see here. 7, 8 feet out of 10. Nice. 10. Wow, a lot of people really liked it, huh? 7, 8, 9. Okay, a lot of high scores. I think 6 is literally the lowest score I've seen, which is pretty wild. Pretty freaking wild. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to give this probably 8.5. I don't think it's the best episode yet, but it was very good, and I was absolutely shocked by a couple of different things in the episode. The feet and the dragon definitely shocked me. So we kind of begin the episode here with a lot of just kind of like, and I loved this as an intro into this episode because we obviously know that Viserys is passed. By the way, the intro video, like the little thing that played before this, should really clear up what was going on with Viserys last episode for anybody that was confused about this, okay? So I thought it was pretty obvious that he was referring to Aegon the Conqueror, and he was referring to the dream because of the conversation he has with Rhaenyra last episode, and then that's mirrored in the final moments. But some people were confused about that. This intro should clear that all up, which I thought was brilliant. I was like, yeah, dude, just fucking put it on the spoon, airplane that shit, and put it right in their mouth, because it's important that you understand that for the tension and context that comes next. The episode begins with a lot of quiet, like sort of solemn, just atmospheric shots. You know, you can hear the flames ripping around, and you've got this little dude who's just running around the castle, and I actually thought that was a pretty effective sequence. It reminded me a little bit of the scene where the what's-her-face blows up the Sept in Game of Thrones. In fact, they used that same song from the introduction of that episode, but they changed it a little bit for the episode. I thought it was very effective and very cool, and I was kind of reminded of that, where they show like the little birds running down below to like light the dragon fire that ends up blowing up the Sept. Different vibe, of course, because this dude kind of goes into where all the servants are kind of getting ready for the day. This is what you would refer to as the back of the house, if you ever worked in the restaurant industry. And it's just kind of interesting, right? He's just going through here. Everybody's getting ready for the day. He meets, I believe her name is Talia, one of the handmaidens or whatever for the queen. She tells the queen about it. And Alicent did look really genuinely sad about this. And I've seen some people kind of debate whether or not she's actually mourning Viserys or not. And so let's stop for a second there, because I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you think, show us the back of your house, do you guys think, you know what's funny? Side note, there's a woodpecker on the back of the house. So annoying, dude. But anyway, do you think, chat, that she's genuinely mourning Viserys in this episode? Based on the info she says later, yeah, she's sad. Yes, she is. Yes. More fear than being sad. Yeah. Some people say no, but a lot of people say yes. So, interestingly, and I think a lot of people are getting this twisted, man. I saw a lot of people be like, she's not really mourning him. She's just sad that she doesn't have this like safety net or buffer now, right? But I think we're like forgetting the episode we just watched last week. To properly set up the tragedy that's going to happen now, it's important that Viserys actually has that moment in the dinner, and he actually gets them to be brought together. I genuinely believe that not only was especially Rhaenyra and Alicent happy that they were able to give this kind of final or last minute gift to Viserys of peace and bring the families back together, but I feel like everybody kind of accepted what was going on. I think Alicent accepted Rhaenyra as heir, and I think there was a lot going on there. And so to go from a place like that, then have the moment where Alicent misinterprets what Viserys is saying, to go to bed thinking about that, and to wake up with him gone, I think there's a ton of things going on here, a ton of things operating, but I believe that a lot of those emotions are mourning, are sadness for Viserys, and even if she only loved him in somewhat of a weird kind of dutiful way, I do think that there's remorse and loss there, right? And it's also important in this scene right here, right, where she tells that the king's last wishes were to put Aegon on the throne. And, her dad's like, say no more. Say less. I'm about it. You know what I mean? Very, very interesting the way this is all being set up because, you know, Alicent genuinely believes that this was Viserys' last wish, and she's also now a woman of faith. So there's just really weird, interesting things going on for her. Yeah, I said dutiful. Of course. Yeah, do-fool. Sheesh. So, yeah, there's just a lot operating here. It's really interesting, right? And this dude's all about it, right? Otto's all about it. He's like, let's fucking go. Like, Aegon all day. Like, we're going to have to kill Rhaenyra and all of them. And this is something that's kind of set up and played in this episode. Alicent does not want to just do a bunch of murders. Okay, that's not her thing. And especially, I think, considering the emotions that she's going through, she does not want to put Aegon on the throne and then have Daemon and Rhaenyra killed. Okay? She's not about that. But that's going to be the main conflict between her and Otto. It was almost like we had like a little mini civil war here with the Greens, which is incredibly interesting. Now, we cut into this scene here of the small council, and this shit was wild. Like, they kind of... I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't love the pacing in the start of the episode, only because I felt like going right into this, getting everybody, like, early in the morning... You know, the Lannister dude says something about it. Like, he kind of makes mention of, like, why are we here so early, et cetera, et cetera. But it just kind of felt like the pacing was a little bit off. And then especially when they kill this dude, it didn't flow for me. I was like, kind of feels like a grotesque, like, let's get their attention, like, shake the keys kind of thing. Like, it wasn't as organic as I think a lot of the other violence and crazy stuff has been in the show thus far. I don't know if you guys share that feeling or not, but I was like, I don't know about that, right? So, the big reveal here is that a lot of these people, including Otto, were already working to put Aegon on the throne. Without Alicent knowing about it, they already had this plan. They already knew who they had to take out. They already knew how fast they had to move, what they had to keep secret, etc., etc. Which is pretty bold. Which was pretty bold, right? Like, and again, it just shows you, like, Alicent is very she's a sympathetic character in this episode. Truly. And it sucks, because I think that her and Rhaenyra have feelings for each other. Some people think that they actually have romantic feelings for each other. Maybe. But at the very least, they have a deep-seated friendship, a lot of history of bullcrappery back and forth, fair bit of drama. But in this moment here, it's very obvious that Alicent does not want to kill Rhaenyra. She even stops the one dude from talking about the bastards stuff again, threatens to send him to the Watch, which really kind of did feel like a 180 pretty fucking quick, but I think it serves to show you that she was really changed by that dinner. I think it's really meant to say, yo, she's doing this because she genuinely believes that this is what Viserys wanted, and she genuinely wants to do this, but she doesn't want to do it the way that, like, Otto's been planning it, the way that Otto sees it. She doesn't want to do it through murders and all these different things. She just thinks this is what should be done, right? And she's sympathetic in that sense, because if she had her way, perhaps this could have been, I don't know, solved in a different way. But that, as we all know, is not actually going to happen. Another, like, sort of tragic element of the show, and this has always been a Game of Thrones thing that I really, really enjoy, is that you're presented with things that, you know, even though the characters believe them wholeheartedly, are incorrect. Daenerys does this a lot. So in Game of Thrones, Daenerys does a lot of things that, like, on the surface level, you're like, yeah, go Daenerys. But if you think about it, like, 2 steps forward, you're like, dude, that was really dumb. And unfortunately, because you kind of understand that George is going to just have the harsh reality of the politics and the sort of inner workings of this world crash against the character motivations, you're like, fuck, dude, like, that's bad. But I understand why you did it, and I want to cheer for you because you're a good person, but that's bad. Right? And so in this situation, you're like, no, I get it. Like, I like what Alicent is trying to do here, but that will never work. It will come to murders. You know what I mean? It's going to come to murders. It's going to come to kin slaying. It's going to come to a lot of crazy stuff. Okay, so then in the middle of all this, right, this dude's like, I will not stand for this. You know what I mean? I will not stand for this. This is bullcrap. I've known Viserys longer than any of you. I will not believe that he, last minute, with only his wife around, changed his mind. Which, by the way, he's actually right. That's what's so fucking crazy. It's so ironic. The dude's talking sense, bro. He's literally on it. 110%. Oh my God, bro. Crazy, man. He was right. And then Sir Kristen Cole's like, how about I bash your fucking head in instead, right? And then this conflict here with Cole and the other dude, which, by the way, who do you think would have won in this fight? You know what I mean? Like, who do you think would have won in this fight? I think it would have been a pretty good fight. She calls Kristen Cole off, of course. Dude, Kristen Cole is completely unhinged and deranged. He's kind of the worst. You think Cole would have won? Oh, bro, I got the Lord Commander in this shit. I think the Lord Commander would have squashed him. See, this is a cool moment, but in Game of Thrones, what was the dude's name? I think it was Sir Barristan Colmy, maybe? The guy that says, even now, I could cut through the lot of you like ribbons. And he, like, quits after Robert's gone. What was that guy's name? Because they do a really good job in Game of Thrones of setting that guy up as like, dude, this dude's kind of a badass. If he wanted to, he could fuck everybody up. Barristan Selby, is that it? Sir Barristan. Yeah, that dude was an OG. He got done dirty in the way he died at the end of the show, by the way. Fuck that. But, yeah, so a similar kind of thing happens here in a little bit where this guy takes his cloak off. But Kristen Cole, man, like, what is your deal, bro? I hate this dude, man. I very much dislike this dude. And I feel like this old man would have gave him the business. But I don't know, maybe not. So shit's pretty tense. They all get back to it. They're doing their business. And the whole time, like, there's dead dude. The whole time, this dude's just listening. And he, like, you could just see, I gotta tell you, the performance this guy did, it's subtle, but it really works. It pulls this scene together because they're all doing their thing. Allison is uncomfortable, and he's just like, his little, like, facial expressions and ticks and stuff, he's like, there ain't no way, bro. Like, you could just see it. He's like, this is crazy as shit. And she's in the same boat. This is where it's really established that Allison does not want to kill them. You know what I mean? And everybody else is like, nah, fam, like, we've got to kill them. If they even survive at all, a lot of people will rally to support them, and it's going to be civil war, and it's going to be really, really bad. So again, Allison has the heart here, but unfortunately, Otto is right. Otto is right. Yeah, I loved this with him just being very pensive and just kind of considering everything that's being said. I absolutely loved it. He puts his cloak down and he's like, until there is a king, you know, y'all sort that shit out. I'm Audi 5000, you know? So, interestingly, then we got into this scene with Helena and her two kids. Really messed up shit's going to happen with them later on. And she's talking about that vision, right? There's a beast below the boards or something like that. And kind of explains that Aegon isn't here. And the whole episode then kind of becomes who's going to get to Aegon first. And, you know, it's not super clear why this would be the case, but I think considering the scene before, it kind of should have been obvious that Alicent wants to influence Aegon to not kill Rhaenyra and her uncle, Daemon, husband. Otto wants to influence the boy to do just that. And this kind of gave me vibes of Joffrey, right? Because, like, Ned Stark was supposed to be pardoned and take the black, which, oh my God, how crazy different would Game of Thrones have been if Ned Stark went to see Jon up at the wall. That would have been crazy. But Joffrey's mother, Cersei, actually tries to get him to be political and not just kill Ned Stark. And he's like, fuck that. You know what I mean? And so he takes him out. So yeah, you've got these two children here. She's talking about how Aegon isn't there. And then we get, what is it? Edwin and Awen? Oh no, it's Arik and Eric. Arik and Eric. These two dudes. They're tasked with going to find Aegon. And Otto's like, you bring him right to me and no one else, mother trucker. I don't want to hear no back talk. Bring him to me, man. Very interesting. He's like, yeah, I'm about it. I'll do it. And then we get a little bit of foreshadowing here. Brilliant with Rhaenys as she wakes up and realizes she is barred in. She's locked in. And basically, nobody puts baby in a corner. And they're going to, you know, this really reminded me, especially at the end, of that video that's been going around with the, like, fuck around and find out chart. Because they fucked around a good bit and they also found out a good bit towards the end of the episode. And I thought this was very interesting. She's looking out, kind of seeing that there's chaos. Foot dude, strong, creeping, trying to figure shit out. She asks him to go find the boy. And basically, this is where Aemond comes in and he's like, yeah, I'll help. I know him very well as well. So they go out and they go looking for Aegon. This also sets up a really interesting dynamic here. And Aemond just goes for it at one point, telling Kristen Cole, going all the way up, but stopping at treason and not saying that he should be king. But essentially saying that he should be king. And it's true. It was so crazy. Like, Aegon doesn't want that shit. He's literally trying to run away. Aemond actually studies. He's a warrior. He has the biggest dragon in the land. He absolutely should be king. But just again, much like the bullcrappery that you see in the show towards, you know, women, second sons also dealt kind of a bad hand just because of the laws of the land. It's super weird, but it is what it is. And they must adhere to that bullcrappery. So then you kind of find out that Aegon took his brother Aemon to this brothel when he was 13 to lose his virginity. I think we're led to believe that this is the lady that he actually lost his virginity to. It's kind of interesting. She explains, oh man, you know, Aegon has moved well past brothels. He's got other things going on, okay? And then we get to this shot where Otto is getting all of the lords that are currently in the Red Keep to flip on their oath and support Aegon as king. And I think there's only a couple of them that say, nah, fam. This guy's like, I'm no oath breaker. You know, this guy's like, I'm going to pretend to not be an oath breaker and then I'm going to bail. He eventually gets caught and hung. But yeah, just a really crazy scene here. Because, like, I think what it shows is just how pussy most of these motherfuckers are. Like, for real. Like, there's only two people really willing to stand up for what's right. Everybody else is just going for the flow. And I was struck by how easy it was to get them to just, you know, sort of turn over on that. I think it kind of shows, sadly, that Viserys's, you know, what he did with his daughter was actually probably not the right move. Through a lot of the sort of like ancillary stuff with like interviews with Patty and the showrunners and whatnot, I think we're led to believe that he confirms Rhaenyra as the heir, and he mostly does this because of the guilt he feels for basically chasing a son and having killed his own wife in the pursuit of having a male heir. And so he feels so guilty about that he wants Rhaenyra to be his heir. Now, here's the problem. If this is what he should have done, Viserys should have just actually put her on the throne before he died. As he was in poor health, he should have actually just appointed her to be queen or king or however they want to say it. And I think it's called objurgated the throne. I don't know. There might be a word for it. But essentially, Viserys could have just left the throne and actually put her on the throne while he was still alive. That would have solved a lot of problems. But just naming her heir and not seeing what was actually going on and not acknowledging that most of the realm would turn against her eventually was Viserys' mistake. Abdicate. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, he should have done that, but instead he just kind of set her up for failure, man. You know, and I think this scene really just shows how many of these people were like, oh, Aegon, male heir, sounds good, let's do it. You know, but there's a couple people that won't, and they're taken away. I think they're going to go into prison. Okay. Then we get Arik and Eric. And this was interesting, too, because these brothers are actually going to play a very important role later on in the show. But it's interesting because one of them is pretty set that Aegon's the worst and he shouldn't actually be king. Then we get this crazy sequence here where it's seen that Aegon likes going to basically what I would describe as toddler fight club. Or I guess they're not toddlers, they're 10, but like young kid fight club, where they get claws, they file down their teeth, and they let these kids fight to the fucking death in this pit. And on top of that, Aegon also has some of his bastards there that also fight. It's crazy. It's like very disturbing, right? Now, I actually think that this scene is really, it does like kind of help to get you to understand how twisted Aegon is, but I don't know that it goes far enough, only because some of the scenes that come up with Aegon are actually sympathetic, which was weird, because I think we're supposed to fucking hate him after this, but then he gets like some sympathetic scenes. It's like really weird how it was kind of paced together. But regardless, yeah, this dude, he's out there, he's like, I should be king. This dude gets hung. The brothers, they kind of talk to one of the white worm, I think is what she's referred to, and find out where Aegon is at. This dude gets the king's justice. Sir Loras here has a moment with Otto, and there's a sort of veiled threat from Otto where Otto's basically like, yo, you've been spending too much time with my daughter. And he's kind of like, yo, but that time could be good for you. Chill out, Pops. Yo, chill out. I just like feet. Get out of my fucking face. So anyway, then we get to this scene with Viserys. Again, she's mourning, and it's actually Viserys' crown on him, which is really interesting because you'll see later on that's a different crown, a different one that gets put on Aegon's head. So Alicent goes to visit Rhaenys, and she's like, look, I'm here to ask you to come to my side, because if your dragon and the dragons of your family join the Greens, then maybe Alicent or maybe Rhaenyra won't be able to actually feel confident enough to actually have a full-blown rebellion. The crazy part here is that Alicent's move here, if it had worked out, might have actually saved the realm a lot of pain. And it is bold, and you also can see that she's actually still trying to not play by the rules that the realm would have you play by, but just like she's looking for a peaceful solution here. And it's kind of like a stockpiling of weapons. It's almost like a Cold War, where she's like, hey, you bring these dragons over here, it's enough of a disincentive for them to attack that maybe they won't. But as we already know, Daemon is preparing for war. Daemon has his own dragon rider people over there. He's getting clutches of eggs. He's fucking doing it. Daemon's like, nah, man, we're gonna have dragons for everybody. I'm ready. You know what I mean? So he's already stockpiling, but essentially this was a move to try to get her to say it. And you know, Rhaenys is just not playing that shit. She's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like, you can do everything, you know, in your power and that you want to do, but I'm not gonna do that. And also she's like, aren't you sick of just working for men? You know what I mean? Like, aren't you sick of just being a tool at the end of the day for men? Haven't you ever imagined yourself on the Iron Throne? And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think that Alicent has. Maybe like in fleeting moments, but for the most part, I think Alicent thinks of, like, it's so crazy to me, but I actually genuinely think she thinks of duty above a lot of other things. You know, and her duty to the king, her duty to the realm, all these different things. For as crazy as she has gotten, especially in that scene where she cuts Rhaenyra's arm, I actually think she does have this kind of like idea of duty and acceptance, which some characters like Rhaenyra and Rhaenys kind of reject and look down on. You know, it's an interesting juxtaposition of motivations. You know, very cool. Another really good scene with those two incredibly good female characters. Now, this scene was dope, bro. Otto's trying to show her what's up. And this lady's like, yeah, the king's dead, bitch. And he's like, the fuck? Like, it was crazy. Like, he's like, what? Okay, well, tell me where Aegon is. And she's like, I could have killed him, you know. You better remember. And also, I don't want this kid Fight Club business going on. Probably just because it hurts her brothels, to be honest with you. But she's like, yo, I don't want this kid Fight Club shit going on, so get that out of here, right? And then they find him. Arik and Eric find him at the place where Alicent and Rhaenyra used to pray, right? Super crazy, right? He's in the Sept, which is such an interesting juxtaposition for such a little butthole as Aegon. You got a little fight with him and the brother. You know, it was so crazy because, like, Aegon literally does, he's like, just literally, like, just throws it out there. He's like, I don't want to be king. I can't be king. I can't do it. You know what I mean? And his brother's like, you'll see no complaint from me. But at the end of the day, like, lets it happen. And this was really interesting with Sir Criston Cole, and it's wild, right? And so what ends up happening is Aemond and Cole end up getting him. They end up taking him. And you get this sort of situation here, and Otto's like, well played. I got to him first, but you were able to get him. Pretty wild. Good for you. And she's like, yo, fuck you, Dad. And he's like, you look like your mom. And she's like, fuck you, Dad. And then gets out of there, right? It was pretty interesting scene. I don't know. A little bit creepy, but it is what it is. Then we get the weirdest scene maybe in the history of Game of Thrones. The weirdest scene. What do you guys think? Is this the weirdest scene in the history of Game of Thrones? Yes or no? I didn't understand why they were fighting Alicent versus Otto shit. Yeah, so the reason is because Otto wants to kill the Blacks. He wants to kill Rhaenyra. He wants to kill Daemon. He wants to kill all their children, thereby securing, you know, Aegon as king and no challengers. Alicent does not want to kill them. Wants to offer them terms. Make something of a surrender happen. Right? Yeah, this is the weirdest scene in all of Game of Thrones. And to be honest with you, it's not nearly as graphic or as sexual as a lot of other scenes in Game of Thrones. And yet, I was so disturbed by this shit. And to be honest with you, it's not even... I'm not even trying to kink shame. You know what I mean? I don't really get the feet thing, but I'm not here to kink shame. That's not why this scene is weird. This scene is weird because of Loras, dude. Like, how did they get to this point where she knows what it is? Where he creepily sits down and she knows she's going to have to sit in front of him, take off her fucking pantyhose or whatever, and let him see them toes. Do you know what I mean? It's Larry's. What am I saying? Lars? Isn't that Lars? Yeah, Lars is the same thing. What are you talking about? What's going on here? How did they dare for real, Josh? How, dog? Yeah, it was weird, dude. So he's like, don't you want to know that hot shit I know about? And she's like, oh, fuck, here we go. You know what I mean? And he's just like, dude, they did act the shit out of it. Like, the way he's, like, just kind of toying the information and, like, occasionally just gazing at her feet. I was like, this is disturbing, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this is disturbing. So, yeah, he's getting his jollies. You know what I mean? Getting excited, sharing the info or whatever, right? Whoa, what the fuck? Spotify advertising? Chat, what the fuck? Did you forget to pay the bills this month? What? I don't want to hear any advertising. What are you doing over there, bro? Bro, you are killing me. You're killing me. We're in the middle of this nice hot deep breakdown here. We're on the toes. We're to the feet, and you're gonna play a freaking. I know a Disney bundle ad. Great. Anyway, let's just keep going here. Okay, so you got them toes. I mean, look at this face, dude. And again, cue the million Quentin Tarantino jokes. Yeah, we get it. Tarantino likes feet. Good joke. Ha, 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 ha. Look at that, man. Like, maybe don't bring some of the best acting you've done as a character to this feet scene. Maybe don't. And then, yeah, they literally have him just literally do it. And she turns, puts her feet up so that he can basically see it. And she looks away as he does his thing. It was gross. It was gross. And weird. And also, I mean, shit, man, I guess pretty obvious his motivations and shit like that. It's very weird. So anyways, you have, I believe, is it Arik or Eric that saves her? Somebody in chat, help me out here. Is it Arik or Eric that ends up saving her? Oh, now we're back playing the music? Cool. Which one was it? Arik or Eric? Man, what am I talking about? Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. What's his motivation? To rub one out to those toes. That's his motivation. He's like, I'll kill my own family and let the realm burn. Just let me tug it to those fucking toes, baby. You know? Yeah, I don't recall either. It's one of them, right? Arik or Eric comes in, saves Rhaenys. He also probably has Viserys' crown, which I guess slight spoiler alert, but he's gonna get that to her. The homie's hanging, right? He goes through the secret passages and whatnot, and they get into Flea Bottom, I believe. And they're trying to just get out of there, but it's all crazy and shit. You've got the crown of the conqueror on a green pillow. Nice symbolology there. That's a real word, symbolology. Look it up. And then she's in here trying to explain to Aegon what's going on. Aegon's like, yo, just so we're clear, I don't believe that shit. My dad didn't love me or want me to be king. So why don't you just shut up? And also, did you ever love me? And she's like, here's the dagger. You're going to be king. You've got to not kill Rhaenyra and Daemon. And he's like, I don't give a shit about that shit. So anyway, they're all going in to the dragon pit for this coronation. And Rhaenys sees a brilliant opportunity to go get her dragon and do some damage. Now, this scene I did think was really cool. But again, it sort of shows how fast this crowd of people were ready to accept Aegon. Like, there was maybe a few seconds where they're like, I don't know, didn't Rhaenyra, fuck it, dude, Aegon's cool, you know? Maybe like one person that saw him in the window is like, I don't know about that shit. But most of the people are like, let's go. And they all flip pretty quick. They hate Aegon. Well, they didn't really show it very well. You know what I mean? They were about it. They switch up on it real quick. I thought the choreography here with the swords and everything was really epic. His walk up was really fucking cool. And then he gets the crown placed on his head. And, it's just interesting because it seems like pretty quickly there. By the way, that's a brilliant cut there. When you just get done spending 45 minutes in the Queen's chambers. You know what I mean? That's the face. Anyway. So, yeah. Aegon gets the crown, becomes king, and all of a sudden, it looks like he's getting into it, dude. It looks like he's getting into it. He takes out, oh shit, hang on. He takes out Blackfire. Look at Otto, he's so pleased with himself. He takes out Blackfire and starts thrusting Blackfire into the air. Everybody loves it, dude. They're like, yeah, we like him. Let's go. Are they serving drinks? Yeah, and so he's getting the crowd all hyped up. And I gotta be honest with you. at this point, when I was watching the episode, I was like, okay, well, I'm a little let down with this episode. It's still great. It's still great. Game of Thrones is still great. Hot D, like, it's good, but it didn't have like that or whatever. And I thought it was just gonna end like this. Maybe Rhaenys was gonna, like, you'd see her like flying off in the distance after this was done or something. And I was like, okay. I was like, this is cool. You know, it's fine. Not my favorite, but it's fine. Okay. And then one of the coolest things, man. One of the coolest things happened, and it shocked me, dude. It shocked me in a different way, but just as much as the feet. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, and then maybe, you know, she'll fly out or whatever. And no, it's like, boom, and Rhaenys just comes out. And I mean, she's got to kill probably hundreds of people by doing this. And it was awesome. The smoke, like, you can kind of see the dragon coming through the smoke. People running for their lives. A lot of people being tossed around, crushed, killed. Not a lot of fire. She didn't just burn everything, which I thought would have been sick. But yeah, tail slashes there, tail slash there. People falling into the pit. Really, really cool. It was awesome. And it serves as sort of a proper tease to what's going to come. And again, this is foreshadowed a little bit because Alicent is like, if your dragon were to join our side, you know, it would be a disincentive. You know, with your family's dragons, it would probably shut down this rebellion. And this is the end result of the fuck around, find out, because they all found out. They found out pretty good why you should not put the queen that never was in a corner. You know what I mean? And it culminates in this part here. And she looks great in the armor, too. I think she looks awesome, dude. But it culminates in this point where she's there and she could have killed all of them. I think the only green that would have been left would have been Dameron, or yeah, I think it's Dameron or Dameron. Whatever. Her fourth son, who's in Old Town, I believe, at this point, who the show is going to do. But she could have killed all of them, bro, and ended the entire rebellion. Like, look at this. All of these people here could have just been gloobly goop. You know what I mean? Goobly gloop. And she doesn't. Right? And I think this is ultimately because of Alicent, and because she actually thinks that maybe there's some way out of this, and she also just doesn't want to murder a mother and all of the mother's children. At the end of the day, for better or for worse, she in this moment decides not to just fry everybody. And the scream was absolutely epic. And again, I think this is really just foreshadowing what we're going to get in the finale, but also next season, right? What a powerful scene. I think this will go down as one of the all-time great Game of Thrones scenes. Just because of the implications here, the tension. It's really wild. And ultimately, this is not in the books either. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't happen. There's no, like, moment here where she could have ended it all in the books. Wild, dude. I thought the tension was real. Now, of course, I don't think any of us actually thought that she was going to take them all out there, but the tension still is, like, it's very real. Like, it's very visceral. And, you know, we're going to get so much dragon action next season, and so much war and bloodshed, and maybe even some bloodshed in the next episode. But damn, shocked me, man. Absolutely shocked me. I was like, you know, again, I was like ready for it to be over, and I was like, okay, fair, you know, totally fair episode. And then it was like, boom, holy shit, dragon coming out of the pit, killing all these people. Oh, she's rolling up on the greens. Holy shit, oh my god. But she lets them go. And then we get the preview, of course, of next episode, and Daemon and Rhaenyra are going to basically start to arm up. And I think that Rhaenyra, just like Alicent, will be reluctant to go to war, to kill, and to try all this crazy shit. But she's going to realize that that's what's going to happen. And so now we're going to officially be in the Dance of the Dragon. So we've got one more episode next week. I expect it to be absolutely dope. And then we wait for season 2. And oh my goodness, the hype for season 2, I think it's going to be pretty big. Like, I think the hype for season 2 is going to be crazy. And whatever, House of the Dragon is currently doing right now, and I know it's doing great numbers. I think they said it's averaging like 30 million viewers per episode between HBO and HBO Max. It's an absolutely massive show. And it seems like the whole first season is just to set up the dance. I think it was brilliantly done. I think it was absolutely brilliantly done. And I cannot wait to see it actually pay off in the next season. But the anticipation of the actual Civil War with dragon battles and crazy politicking, like actual war, betrayal, all these different things. Holy shit. I think that will break records the first episode next year. It's going to be crazy. Now, George has went on to say that he thinks they need to do at least 4 seasons to do the show proper justice. I don't know if that means they actually will do 4 seasons, but I expect at least several seasons, and I think it's going to be really, really awesome. Really, really awesome. So I loved it. Like I said, probably 8.5 out of 10. There was some pacing issues that I didn't love, some weird stuff in the episode, like the foot thing or whatever. But overall, really, really solid. Great episode. Great episode. I loved it. So there you have it. There you have it. Next year, brother, it's probably going to be a bit later, unfortunately. No, they greenlit season 2 almost immediately. Yeah, maybe late next year. Or it could be, I guess, early 2024. I don't know, actually. You could be right. They said 2 years. Whew, damn. They start filming season 2 next year. I mean, it's a lot of effects. It's probably a lot of money. So I could see it taking 2 years. I hope it doesn't, though. Finale watch party? I don't know. I'm going to make a game time decision on that. This weekend is Elisa's birthday, so we have family in town. They're going to help watch Liam so that Elisa and I can go out and celebrate and have some really good time. So I don't know. I don't want to commit to it yet. We'll see. I will tell you this, though. By the time the next season rolls around, I think we'll either do watch parties or we'll at least do some like dope videos for the show and stuff like that. I'm really into Game of Thrones, so I think we can get back to a place where we do a bunch of videos for the show. So that should be cool. So we can get into Q&A in a little bit here. I wonder if there's any other dope news. I will say this. I have a video coming out later today that's all about Mephisto in the MCU. And it's like actually probably real, pretty wild. So look out for that video later today. Tomorrow is the official release of Marvel's Snap, which is a game for mobile and PC, although I don't know how the PC build is going to be right away. So tomorrow, I don't know if it'll be the main topic of the stream, but I kind of want to do just a big old stream playing a bunch of Marvel Snap to kind of celebrate the official release so that everybody can get the game at that point. So it would be kind of cool to like show it off and play some games and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else going on in the nerdy world that I should be talking about? Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Check it out. Let me check it out. Let me check it. Check it out. I don't see anything else, and also I gotta go watch Bleach. So let's just get through these super chats. Let's hang out in the chat, and then let's call it a stream. What do you say? What do you say, chat? What do you say? No excitement for Tales of the Jedi next week? No, I definitely have excitement for it. Does Elisa watch Hot D? Oh, yeah, we watch it together every Sunday for sure. Ezra Miller faces 26 years in prison. I mean, I doubt it. The human that seems to avoid all consequences for their action and dance through the raindrops. Do I think they're going to get any recompense? No, I don't. What am I going to be for Halloween? Probably just Sully again. Sully from Monsters, Inc. No Rick and Morty this week? No, Rick and Morty is gone until November, I believe, right? I think they're taking a little break until November. Did I watch Halloween Ends? Oh, hell no. Hell no. I don't really like horror. So, no, I did not. I did not do that. I did not. So, yeah. All right, let's get into some of these chats, and then we'll hang out in the chat a little bit as well. Again, Alan, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. Admiral Leonard, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Bro, we got to figure out what's going on with these ads on Spotify. That shit is crazy. We've never had that happen before. Star Wars Sith, the $5 holler says, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No. No, I haven't. And it's not a tale Disney would tell you either. Mandalore says, good morning, man. How was the weekend, my guy? Love you. Hey, much love to you. Weekend was really good. Had a pretty chill weekend. Got a lot of rest. Went to a wedding on Saturday, which was great. Got to, for the first time, some of my really good friends got to sort of see Liam. We went out there with him, caught up with some people, enjoyed the celebration. It was beautiful. And then we skadoodled our poodle out of there. Yesterday, we had a pretty chill-ass day. And I took my first steps into actually being a Warhammer player yesterday. I actually painted and assembled the first Space Marines I've ever actually done. And it's kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty, but I'll show you guys. This is my first attempt at painting a Space Marine. What the fuck? What's going on with the focus? Not the worst, but I need to improve so much. So, Elise is way better at painting these things than I am. But it was cool, man. I did really like it. And so I'm going to continue to kind of assemble them and mess around and try to paint them and whatnot. But that was really fun. It was just kind of a fun thing that we could do together, kind of painting the minis and everything like that. So I had a pretty good weekend. Thank you. Mo from the Foe says with a $5 holla here, says, how can Cole just murder dude and nothing happens? LMAO. Rhaenys is a badass. I want Dragons in Blood next week. Yeah, me too, man. And I think you will get more next week, but I really think it's all leading to season 2. Because, this war, you've got, I think you got 20 dragons in total at the beginning of the war, and a lot of them die during it. So it's going to be fucking awesome, dude. The amount of war and craziness that's about to go down is going to be nuts. So I'm about it. And yeah, what's up with Kristen Cole, dude? How's this dude seemingly just get to do whatever he wants? It's wild. Jarrett Rizza, the $5 holla says, loved seeing that Alicent took some of Viserys' peacefulness when he passed. I think she's starting to see the evilness in Otto and his lust for power. 100%. She even remarks on it in the episode, and I do think she sees it now. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of adds this tragic element because, it was bad. Alicent was hated. Dude, I hated Alicent 2 episodes ago. But now, we're on kind of more stable ground, and I understand where she's coming from. I feel bad for her. You know what I mean? I genuinely feel bad for her. Mo from the Foe with a $10 holla, very generous brother, says the beautiful tragic dissonance of Game of Thrones. Good characters thrown aside, right action stomped out, and those left sift through rubbish to find pieces that they can hold it all together, including us watching. Wow, well said. Well said, my friend, and I do think that's part of the magic. The sort of that cringe that you have when you're no, don't do that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that kind of stuff. It's tragedy done right. It's so damn good. And yeah, man, I'm glad that you're enjoying it. 34 Virgo says Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon by far is how you cast and direct women lead show of deceit, cleverness, and power. Bravo to everyone involved. Yeah, I think these are fantastically well done female characters. They all have depth. I think one of the things that is great about Thrones is that nobody's really all good or all bad. Like, even Rhaenyra, in a lot of ways, like, she's fucked a lot of stuff up. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily love all the things that she's done, but she's redeemable. There's, like, and by the way, these new actresses, I know not everybody loved the time jumps and everything, but I think these new actresses deserve a lot of credit for their ability to, like, take themes from the younger actresses and carry them into a more adult version. It's fascinating. Like, I really enjoy the portrayal of the older actresses. It really works for me, and I feel a straight through line to the ones before. But yeah, it really is a great example of brilliant female characters. And I think one of the reasons that this show does it so well is that this show is not worried about optics, right? They're not thinking about, like, oh, well, modern sensibilities feel like this, so we should therefore do this, because you lose the organic quality of a character when you do that, I think. So they're not playing those kind of games. So it comes across feeling earned, organic, and natural. Like, it's just really good. So I agree with you. MTS 1993 with a $5 holler says the most disturbing scene is Jaime and Cersei doing the deed in the church in front of Joffrey's corpse. That shit was very disturbing. That's true. That was very disturbing, thinking back to it. And Dan and Dave got into a load of shit for that too, because it just seemed like poor taste, you know? Or in poor taste. Frex, member for 7 months, says, I would like Zack Snyder to do an MTG movie franchise with Henry Cavill playing Gideon and Katie McGrath playing Liliana. Thoughts? I mean, that sounds dope, man. I'd be all about it. The spark, plane shifting, all this fun stuff, man. Magic is ripe for a very good adaptation. I just don't know. You'd have to have the right people. I mean, I think Zack would be great. Zack is locked up in Rebel Moon mode. I don't know when he'll leave doing Rebel Moon stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, somebody with his kind of artistic sensibilities, for sure, man. The show would be awesome. Rhaenys did an Eren Yeager. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit from Attack on Titan, 100%. That's kind of interesting. Well said. Jonathan Pitas, member for 15 months, says, didn't get to ask this last week, but what was the better show for you, She-Hulk or Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I'd take She-Hulk in my opinion. Nerd Vengeance for life. Dude, that's very hard for me. I think those are both bottom of the barrel. They both accomplish some things. I'd honestly probably have to give the edge to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, unfortunately. And also, low-key, Falcon and the Winter Soldier has more of an excuse than She-Hulk to be as goobly glob as it was. Because they had to, like, remake it and, like, hide all this stuff from the show because of the pandy and stuff. I don't know that there's really an excuse for what She-Hulk ended up being. You know what I mean? So I'd probably have to say Falcon and the Winter Soldier on that. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Okay, so what's up in the chat, y'all? I'm going to hang for like 5, maybe 10 minutes. Just see what's going on with you. How are you guys? How was the weekend for you guys? Yeah. Rahul, I saw that. I already saw that. I mean, I think everybody that's in the know assumes that RDJ is coming back for Secret Wars. I don't know that that's a huge surprise, although it is nice that My Time to Shine Hello is like saying, yeah, for sure, you know? You gotta watch Evangelion, makes Gundam look lame. Oh yeah, I've seen Evangelion. Neon Genesis. Evangelion. And no, I love that show, and I love, like, the idea it introduces. It's so crazy at the end, where those last 2 episodes where he's like basically in a psychotherapy session talking about like self, and when he rejects the idea of all of the people merging into one, I was like, dude, that shit's wild. If you've never seen Neon Genesis Evangelion, just give it a shot. It's probably one of the most wild animes ever created. It's crazy She-Hulk was supposed to come out before Ms. Marvel and had to be re-edited. That's the crazy part to me. Oh yeah, they chopped that shit up. They tried to do their best to fix it. I think Disney is doing way too many MCU shows at once instead of planning their stories out and making them on par with the movies. I agree. Hey Josh, did you know they shot the scenes with the older actors and then shot the scenes with the younger actors? What? That's crazy. Did I watch any NFL football this weekend? You know what's so funny about that, Aegon? Which Aegon are you, by the way? The original? The second? The third? This was the one weekend I didn't watch the Steelers because it's been fucking depressing to watch the Steelers. And I'm just like, dude, they're about to go up against Tampa Bay. They literally have a 1% chance of winning. I don't want to see Tom Brady put 60 million points on top of the Steelers. I'm over it. And then I looked up later. I'm like, the fuck? I was like, wait, what? And in fact, I still don't fully understand how they won. Like, what happened? Can somebody like TLDR that for me? Like who? Like what? Like how? Like what just happened? Oh, okay, so you're egg on this. Well, you got blonde hair in your profile picture, man. The Bucks O-line is trash. Interesting. You gotta believe. I mean, I believe, I guess. Anybody watching Arcane in here? Yo, Arcane is lit, bro. That first season is incredible. Yo, just saying, F the Steelers, go dog pound. Hey, you don't say that. Mitchell Trubisky and the GOAT came in to win it. Yeah, it's wild, right? So they put him in kind of later, and he like wins the game. That's kind of wild. Yeah. That's interesting. Good for him. Yeah, when is the next season of Arcane? I'm actually pretty excited for that. I forgot Viserys was Professor X in Legion. Was he really? I don't particularly remember that. I mean, I remember Professor X. I don't think that was him. I think you're wrong. Did I watch the Evangelion Rebuild movies? No, I have not seen those. I'm a Broncos fan. I'm embarrassed. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm embarrassed. That shit was wild, though. I honestly cannot believe they won. When is Rebel Moon coming out? That's a great question. I think next year. UFC 280 predictions. I predict a good-ass time. I think Charles Oliveira... Here's my opinion on this. I think Charles Oliveira destroys him. Like, destroys him. I don't even think it's going to be close. But there's also, like, all this weirdness about, like, Oliveira maybe not showing up. I don't know what the fuck that's about. I expect he'll show up. And also, I'm not going to be able to watch that... I'm not going to be able to watch that shit right away, unfortunately. I'm going to have to go... Because we're going to go out for Elise's birthday. We're going to go do all these fun things, and then I'm going to come back and watch it later in the day. So, I'm hoping to not be spoiled by it. So, here, I'll give you my picks. Charles Oliveira destroys Islam. I think TJ takes it. I got to be honest with you. I think Peter Yan smacks the shit out of Sean O'Malley. I think Peter Yan fucks him up. I'll go with the Polish guy in the lightweight bout. And I'll go with the American lady, Caitlin. Those are my picks. Those are my picks. Those are my picks. Mm-hmm. Oliveira annihilates. Yeah, I mean, he's just operating on a totally different level. Plus, Charles's jiu-jitsu will shit all over. What is that thing that all the Russians do? Sado or whatever? Whatever that stupid art is. Yeah, jiu-jitsu will destroy that shit. You know, plus Charles is like probably still mad that he doesn't have his belt. Sambo. Okay, yeah, Sambo ain't it, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, Sambo is not a good art. I don't know how, but The Rock won me over. Seems like he is playing heel to Superman. Yeah, same. You gotta give respect to The Rock, man. Like, you guys know how much shit I talked on The Rock in the last 6 months. I talked so much shit on The Rock. Sambo is definitely not greater than jiu-jitsu. Sambo has literally never had a champion, I guess, besides, technically speaking, Habib. Sambo has never had, like, a Sambo player that's ever done much of anything in the UFC. And really, I mean, even Habib is just a wrestler. That's not really Sambo he's doing. You know, like, by the way, I think one of Khabib's only losses is actually in a Sambo tournament. But no, Sambo ain't it, bro. Yeah, Sambo ain't it. It's just not an actually competitive, especially in MMA, it is not actually that competitive. It's the same reason why, like, there are some Muay Thai guys that do decent. Anderson Silva was a Muay Thai guy that did really, really well, of course, but he was a little bit more actually MMA and well-rounded. Unfortunately, Muay Thai does not actually lend itself well to the MMA format. It sort of invites a bunch of takedowns. The balancing of the stances isn't good for MMA. Yeah. Josh, you're speaking cap right now? I mean, that's your opinion, dude, and your opinion sucks. Happy blazing 420 Nerd Vengeance for life, says Patrick Ray. What's up, Pat? Hope you're doing well, man. O'Malley fighting Jan is such a huge jump up for him. Yeah, I think so, too. Yeah. Josh, if you're a fan of the original Evangelion, you should watch the end of Evangelion, a true ending to the anime series. Okay, is that stuff that's on Amazon or whatever? Maybe I'll check it out. Muay Thai fighters in the UFC can do a lot more than Muay Thai. Wait, what? Well, no, that's true. But what I mean to say is, like, if you're a specialist, right? If you're a specialist in the sense that that entire community of that art is kind of like pulling for you or whatever. Like, plus, like, the Muay Thai people don't really do UFC, dude. They all want to just do Muay Thai in Thailand. It's like a thing of honor for them, you know? And they start at like age 6. So it's just like a different thing. I have a lot of respect for the Muay Thai, you know, but yeah, they're not really in it in the MMA world like that, especially if you're in Thailand. Like, it would be considered disrespectful or like bad hormat if you grew up in Thailand and studied Muay Thai and then you went to fight in the UFC. Like, you would be considered not, like, that's not chill. Nerd Theory back tonight? I believe so. I'm 90% sure we will do a Nerd Theory tonight. What do you guys think? Before we get out of here, and I am going to get out of here, okay? But let me ask you guys a couple questions. As far as options for Nerd Theory tonight, should I, A, watch episode 6, try to be as positive as I can about the show, and speculate about how it could be good? B, not watch episode 6, but also still try to be positive, say that I'll watch it all later and that hopefully it'll get better and that Star Wars is fine. Or C, not watch it and shit on Star Wars hard AF. It's over! It's over! It's a bargain bin $5 DVD property now. It's over! What do you think? A. Okay. Looks like a lot of people think. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. Fine. A lot of people are A. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay. A it is. Because, you know, I care a lot about what you guys think about this whole situation here. So I guess I'll do the right thing and fucking... Here we go. You gonna finish the Rings of Power? Hell nah, bro. Hell nah. No, of course, yeah. Of course I care about my buddy. Need a Josh Rage before the stream ends? No, I'm going to end it on a positive note. I'm feeling quite good this morning. All right, everybody. Much love to you all. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the love on these streams, man. Tomorrow's stream's going to be really cool. Like I said, we may just do a full-on Marvel Snap stream where I'm just playing Snap. And that would be dope. Maybe there'll be some cool news. We'll go over the news and then we'll play Marvel Snap. I don't know for sure yet, but tomorrow should be super fun. Again, check out the video later today about Mephisto. Videos have been popping lately. I really appreciate all the love on that. And next week, again, I want to remind everybody before we get out of here, next week, these streams are moving to noon Eastern Standard Time, an hour and a half later in the day, noon Eastern Standard Time. What time next week will we be streaming? Noon Eastern Standard Time. All right. That's going to do it for us here at Nerdventure Stowen. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? That's a nice Monday. Yeah. That's a nice Monday stream. Hope you had fun. Hope you were engaged. Hope you had a few laughs. Yeah, man. Much love to you guys, man. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad when House of the Dragon is no longer on the air. But man, am I grateful that they did what they did in this season, dude. Strong first season. Holy shit. Yeah. And also, Andor is not Star Wars. Okay, make sure you tip your waitresses. Drive safe. See you later on. Open up your third eye. Wash out that brown eye. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Getting some exercise. Touch some grass, man. Wash behind your ears. You can do it. Take care of yourself.